Which favorite movie is a red flag? Suicide Squad, but only for the couples that use Harley Quinn and the Joker as their inspo. 50 Shades of Grey. Wolf of Wall Street, but only when said by business, finance majors and frat guys. As someone who lives in NYC. Wolf of Wall Street. Nearly every guy working in finance here will bring it up within the first 10 minutes of conversation. Cats, 2019. I don't believe in red flag movies. I do believe in red flag reasons for liking movies. If Fight Club is the epitome of masculinity in society for you, that's not Fight Club's fault. We weren't watching the same movie. A Serbian film. Human Centipede. Transformers the G1 animated movie. If they have taste that good, I'm getting dumped. The Emoji Movie. Birth of a Nation. The Last Airbender. Not the series. Edit. Removed the word Avatar. I really like Joker, but I don't tell people that. It's kind of a bummer that most of the movies listed are pretty decent, but all have rabid edgelord fans who fail to recognize themes, context and irony. All my exes liked Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I feel like they were all disappointed I wasn't more of a manic pixie dream girl. Passengers, 2016, if it is watched as a romance rather than the horror it is. Scarface and Wall Street. The red flag comes from the fact that everyone I've ever heard name those as their favorite movies also see the protagonists as their heroes, role models. Whoosh. I'll preface this by saying all the actors in the film kids are older than me. When I originally watched it, I was the same age as them in the movie. About 5 years ago, after a buddy of mine and I played a few games on Madden, we saw that Kids was on Netflix and decided to stream it. It took about 10 minutes before we both got so uncomfortable that we had to turn it off. If someone's favorite film is Kids, I'm calling Chris Hansen. Fight Club. Which sucks, because it's an extremely well-made movie, and I feel really bad for you if it's your favorite movie for the actually right reasons, but do many shitty, small, insecure, angry boys fucking love this movie because they think it's an anthem to the exact things it condemns? Sausage Party. Once met a guy who asked me out. Declined after learning that his favorite movie was Sausage Party. 90% of romantic movies portray toxic relationships, and it's where you find all the red flags. Red flag on a certain kind of guy who thinks The Matrix is a documentary. 50 Shades of Grey, 365 Days and, don't kill me for saying it, but After. After is so toxic I can't even. This is kind of the opposite, but I know a woman who hates The Princess Bride. That's just unsettling. It's not a red flag, per se, but love actually has some really fucked up relationships. After. After we collided. After we fell. After we died. After we resurrected. After we blah blah blah. Cum Shots 5. The Ultimate Coming. Cuties. American Psycho. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good movie, but if you're obsessed with it you might be a high-functioning sociopath. Kind of the opposite, but I notice people who like the Starship Troopers book over the movie have values directly opposed to my own. Based on experience, Donnie Darko. Not because it's a bad movie, by any means, but everyone I know who's considered it their favorite has been an edgy stoner who thinks they're deeper than everyone else. The Wolf of Wall Street. I personally love the film, but all of the things that make it great entertainment are also the things that translate to a miserable existence in real life. Crime, drug addiction, and infidelity make for great stories, not great living. You shouldn't aspire to be like Jordan Belfort in the 90s. Shit. Even Jordan Belfort says you shouldn't aspire to be like Jordan Belfort. Always afraid to tell people Goodfellas is my fave. Cannibal Holocaust. I will not put up with anyone whose favorite film includes actual animal cruelty. My Little Pony, the movie. I remember seeing something on Reddit a while back about someone who worked at a theater when that movie came out and how disgusting it was cleaning up after the adult men that came to watch it. Edit. Found the post. Every introspective movie about the slow downward spiral or descent into madness. There are people who can appreciate the finer points of Joker, Fight Club or Taxi Driver, and there are those who think that mentally unstable Vietnam vet taking out his frustration shooting pimps and insurance inspector with progressively looser grip on the sanity are the role model. The fact that the second kind is more likely to list these movies as their favorites means that you really should double-check everyone who calls them the best thing ever put on the screen. Clockwork Orange. They better elaborate on specifically why. Twilight or 50 Shades. If you unironically like those, then that tells me you romanticize really toxic relationships. Twilight in particular is a clusterfuck of what the fuck romance plotlines. Especially that one part where the furry sees a newborn baby and immediately thinks, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that one day. Triumph of the Will. Wolf of Wall Street. I like the movie too, but too many business major men think that's something to aspire to. Fight Club. Not cause it's a bad movie, but it does tend to attract a certain kind of boy. I was on a date with a guy who volunteered that Split was his favorite movie while we're looking for a movie to watch, and about midway through the movie he says, "Do you ever feel that way sometimes during a scene when the main character is losing his shit around one of the girls he'd kidnapped?" I knocked right the fuck out of that relationship right after I had sex with him 2 last times. Don't judge me, he was insane in bed too. Boku no Pico. All these people hinting that liking American Psycho makes you a serial killer better not be playing any violent video games. The Notebook. God's Not Dead. Most Adam Sandler movies. I've quite enjoyed a lot of them, but if it's a favorite, you are a type of guy the first one to avoid. Has anyone said Wolf of Wallstreet yet? Human Centipede. Unironically. Please research the song Red Flags by comedian Tom Cardy. You won't regret it. American History X. I knew a lot of white kids growing up that worshipped that movie while screaming Peckerwood and throwing up open hand, palm down salutes. They totally missed the point of the movie.